welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well out there, and today we're heading back to the early 80s once again, folks, for another slasher film. But before we do that, do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe. Join me here. I greatly would appreciate that. Also, a shameless plug for my TeePublic page. I'll put a link in the description box below. And today we're going to talk about a fun one, folks. One from the man himself, Roger Corman, who produced this film through his New World Pictures production arm. And that movie is The Slumber Party Massacre. Yes, Slumber Party Massacre came out November 12th of 1982. It's rated R, and it's only an hour and 17 minutes, folks. This film wastes no time, and we'll talk about that. This film had a budget of $250,000, and upon release, it made $3.6 million. And what's notable about this film, this was directed by a woman. Amy Holden Jones directed this film. A matter of fact, Amy Holden Jones turned down the opportunity to edit Steven Spielberg's E.T. because she really wanted to direct a feature film, and she came in to do this film. The screenplay started off as something other than just a straight-ahead slasher film. Rita Mae Brown, who was a feminist activist, wrote this as a parody of a slasher film. But once Roger Corman got his hands on the script, they turned it into a more straightforward slasher film, obviously. And there's all kinds of nudity in it. But when Rita Mae Brown originally wrote the script, it was called Sleepless Nights. When Roger Corman bought the script and started making changes, he wanted a more straightforward approach. It was called Don't Answer the Door. So this film went through a couple title changes before it settled on the Slumber Party Massacre. Now, we're just going to dive right into plot. I'm not going to go down to the cast here. I mean, Brinke Stevens is in this film. She would go on to become a Scream Queen. But other than that, there's a bunch of folks in here you really probably never heard of. So we're just going to concentrate on the plot here, what little of it there is, and we're just going to talk about this crazy-ass film from 1982, which had two sequels, and then it had a remake a couple years ago, which I still have not seen. I got to check it out. Slumber Party Massacre has the basic, you can't even get more basic setup than this. There's no lore, there's no killer setup, no nothing. We're just straight into it, baby. There's a guy with a Canadian tuxedo. He does have a red shirt too, but he has a denim jacket and jeans on. And he just starts killing people pretty much from the opening minutes of the film. We don't know nothing about this guy other than we find out later that his name is Russ Thorne, and apparently he broke out of an insane asylum or something, or prison. And we hear that through a throwaway voice off a TV or a radio, a news broadcast. And he just starts picking people off right out of the gate. And his weapon of choice is a drill. That's what his weapon of choice is. Now, he does use a couple other implements throughout the film, but most of the people get killed with the drill in this film. The cast here is just basically, the plot is, and like I said, this is bare bones, basic plot here, is there's these senior girls in high school that are throwing, this one girl's parents went away, and she's on the basketball team, and one of the most awfully put together basketball scenes in a movie I've ever seen. And she's inviting her friends over, her close friends over for a slumber party, kind of like they did when they were younger. And that's it. And this killer sets his eyes on them. He stalks them back to the main final girl's house and starts offing people throughout the rest of the runtime. And again, this movie's only an hour and 17 minutes long. There's no fat on this film whatsoever. You get into it, the basic setup, and we're off. And the kills come fast and furious right to the end until we dispatch of Russ Thorne in the swimming pool, which was a reshoot. We'll talk about that in a second. And that is Slumber Party Massacre. That's it. There is no plot. You don't set up the killer other than he's an escaped convict who killed somebody before. And now he's back and he's hunting these girls down. And obviously, it's not lost on me the phallic symbol of the drill chasing women around. And there's even a part towards the end when he's about to get killed where they cut the drill bit in half, and the look on his face is utter mortification, being at they cut his penis off. They cut his manhood off. It's not lost on me. It's here, but it doesn't really mean a whole lot here. I mean, there's not a lot of subtext in this film, if you know what I mean. It's just a straight up meat and potatoes slasher film. They don't dick around. There's nothing. They don't pad the runtime. Obviously, it's 77 minutes long. They're just straight into it. We dispatch the killer, and that's the end of the film. And that's it. What's I like about this film? Well, I mean, it's quick. It's a quick watch. It's a quick, fun watch. there's no substance here. There's no lore behind the killer. This isn't like Jason or Michael where there's some lore to explore along the way. There's nothing here. I mean, we just know that he's an escaped lunatic and that's it. And he happens to set his sights on these girls. That's it. That's pretty much it. So we don't get any reasoning why he's doing it. Not like some of the other slasher films we've been discussing as of late. It's pretty just that's it. He's just killing people. And pretty much, you know, if you're just looking for a quick good time, that's all you need, really. And the kills come fast and furious. This movie's not overly gory. I mean, the kills aren't the best. You get some stabbings with the drill, some slashings with the drill. He kills one girl with a butcher knife. You get to see more of the aftermath, and they do throw the blood around, but this film's not overly gory considering it was made by Roger Corman. And when they off the killer at the end, I think it's okay. I think it's probably one of the better scenes. It takes place around a swimming pool, which was a reshoot. There's a scene in the living room right before the pool where they dispatch the killer. And that was where they were going to dispatch the killer in when they originally shot it. Roger Corman liked the film so much, he thought they needed a little bit of a bigger ending. I guess that means by a swimming pool in the backyard, because that's pretty much all they do. And he gave him a little bit more, Amy Holden Jones, a little bit more money, and they went back and reshot that, where they kill him right there around the pool, and they actually ruined the pool with all the fake gore in the pool. It ruined the pool, so they had I guess it was worth it though, because it is one of the cooler scenes of the film. There's some definite comedy. I don't know if it's intentional. Now again, this was originally a parody, but they wanted to go for a more straight head of horror film. People do dumb shit and it's hilarious. I don't know, the way it comes off in the film, it's unintentional, but it's funny. I mean, they're not straddling the line here. Amy Holden Jones, I saw an interview, she said it is a horror comedy. It doesn't seem like they're going for that tone, though, at least in my eyes. But at the end of the day, it's fun. It's not the greatest. The acting's just okay. There's some really bad acting here, and there's some okay acting here. And again, that basketball scene at the beginning of the film where we're introduced to these girls, it's just like they're just bouncing the ball around. None of them have control over the ball. I mean, it's really not, these girls weren't basketball players, obviously. And you can tell as they're shooting it because it looks just disorganized and just a cluster F. Of a scene, but you know, it does the job, I guess, of setting up these girls, how they know each other a little bit. But again, I mean, I guess if you're looking for more plot, this is not the movie for you. There's no plot here to speak of other than there's a guy, escaped lunatic, hunting these girls, and that's it. Like, there's nothing else here. This isn't the greatest slasher film. It's just a fun time. I've seen 2 and 3. I remember 2's like really out there. I have not seen it in years. I used to have it on DVD. I might still have it in my case. I'll have to try to dig it out. But I haven't seen the sequels in probably 25 years. And I have not seen the remake. But I'm very interested in seeking out the remake now that I've rewatched this for the first time. And by the way, speaking of this, Scream Factory put this out. You could get it on Amazon. The transfer is not bad considering this is a low budget film. I think I got it for like $15 or $14. So if you like this film, you could do a lot worse. And there's a making of documentary on here that interviews the director and some of the actors in the film. So it's definitely worth it if you're a fan of this film. And again, this is a short watch. It's one of the strengths. It's a breeze to get through. And this is just one of those movies you can throw on with your buddies, have a couple drinks, and have a good time laughing at the shit going on screen. And this film took 3 weeks to film. At the end of the day, again, this isn't the best slasher film. This isn't going to be in top 10 slasher films of all time. But for a sleazy, quick, good time, because there's a lot of nudity in this too. So if you're a fan of nudity, they give it to you in spades here. You could do a lot worse. There's a lot worse slasher films out there to watch. At the end of the day, I would give Slumber Party Massacre a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 for the Slumber Party Massacre. If you've ever seen this film, leave a comment down below, let me know. Hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, share this video. I greatly would appreciate that. We got some more slashers coming up. We got Nightmare Beach, we got Final Exam, we got Cutting Class. We got many others to come, and it's been a blast going through some of these. But for this video, that's it. So until next time, bye.